All right. Well, do you understand your why?
Yes.
Do you?
I do.
I don't know. You don't sound too sure. Because as Armando said, that really is the critical piece. If you don't have that, something, somebody, somewhere, it's going to happen that they're going to knock you right out. So make sure that you listen to the words that he talked about and you get your why down. Okay? So after that, what are you going to do? You need to make your list of contacts. Have you heard this before? Raise your hand if you've heard this before.
Yeah.
Nothing new, right? So why do we still talk about it?
Because this is how you build it.
This is how you build it. And guess what? John had said earlier, we, travel around to the different markets and we train the sales force on how to go out there and build their business successfully. But do you know how many times that we go out there and we say, make your list, and people still won't do it?
Right.
And what do they say? Well, I've made my list before.
I got it in my head.
I've got it in my head, right?
Right.
That's what I used to say. I got that list right here. You think you might forget something once in a while?
Yeah.
What if you were in another company and you made your list there? Does that count here?
No.
Make your list again, right? You need to come in as if you are brand new today. Brand new right now. Because what you did in the past doesn't matter.
Right.
You're starting North American Power, and so you need to start from the beginning. Because sometimes brand new people that have never had any home-based business experience come in and shoot right past others who have been in for a while. Do you know why? They listen, but they don't have that baggage that you see some of the others carrying with them. They come from one company to the next and they got some baggage, right? So that baggage gets in their way of their success. So leave that at home or at the airport. Come in with a brand new, fresh mind. Learn it like you've never heard it before. Like it's the very first time you're hearing training, and make that list. Now, who does the list consist of? People that you have a relationship with, right? People that you know, have that relationship with, you have that trust there. Now, some of you might say, well, I don't know 25 people. I don't know 50 people, right? What do? Pull out your phone. Do you think there might be 25 people in your phone? Pretty sure I can guarantee it, right? 12-year-olds these days have cell phones. They've got more than 25 people in there. If you're older than 12, you for sure have more than 25 people in your phone, right? Go to your recent calls. Those are the people that you talk to the most, right? And start making that list. Now, don't think, well, I've already talked to that person. Did you talk to them about North American Power, or did you talk to them about something else that you were in? Well, I've already talked to that person. Did you talk to them the effective, proper way, or did you mess it up? Right? So there's all kinds of excuses. They like to call them reasons. I like to call them excuses. As to why somebody won't write someone's name down on a list. But you need to not prejudge. You need to not think about, well, I know this person, but I'm not sure if it's the right time in their life. They're kind of busy. I don't know if they'd be open to an opportunity. They've already done this before. There's so many different reasons that you can give somebody to why you wouldn't write down their name. But you have no idea what's going on in their life. Are people completely transparent and vulnerable and honest and upfront with how their situation is financially, at home, right, at work? No. Nobody wants to say, hey, I'm broke, I need an opportunity, do you have something, right? It doesn't feel good. So they mask that and they make it look good. They go into credit card debt to pay for their house, to pay for a new car, to go on vacations that they can't afford. So don't look at somebody's lifestyle and think, well, they don't need it. Maybe they are wealthy. Maybe they've got more money than you can imagine having. But maybe it's because they have to work every single day for it and they'd like to be able to enjoy some vacations. They'd like to be able to take some time off, to be able to spend it with family and not have to work every day for that. So do not prejudge the people that you put on your list. Every single person that you know and have a relationship needs to go on that list. You can decide when you're going to call them, but you need to have their names written down on the list in order to be able to have the opportunity to call them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, some of you have been, and you raised your hand earlier, that you've been in previous home-based businesses. And I've heard some others, as we've trained, say, well, you know, I've been in another company before. So how do I go back to the people that I've already talked to and say, you know, this is the best thing? You've all been there, right? Because I said the last thing was the best thing. So now, I don't know, it just doesn't look good, right?
Right.
Well, Maya Angelou says, when you know better, you do better. And all I know is, before you knew about North American Power, weren't you doing what you thought was the best? Well, now you know better. So isn't it time to do better? Now, a quick little example I'll give of that. If you had a business, a traditional business, back in the, gosh, I guess I can call it the 70s, and you sold 8-track tapes. Remember those? And then technology improved, and we came out with cassette tapes. But you had your customer base. And all your customers trusted you and came to you for that technology of 8-track tapes. Well, when cassette tapes come out, do you offer that to your customers? Or do you say, well, how do I do that? I already told them this is the best thing, right? If cassette tapes are the new technology and it's the next best thing, you want to be the first one to go to them and say, guess what? There's something new out. I know you just bought a whole series of 8-tracks, but there's something new out. You're going to want to get in on it. And then what comes after that? CDs. Do you say, no, I don't want to go to them because they're going to think I'm crazy. They told me the cassette tapes were the new best thing. No, as it improves, you continue to go back. You know better, you do better. I know I told you cassette tapes were it, and they were for a long time, but guess what? Now it's CDs. So it doesn't matter if you've been with another company before. It doesn't matter if you've had success or didn't have success. You need to go back to those same individuals and reapproach them the right way with the right information, with the new information that you didn't have prior to knowing North American Power. Is that fair?
Yes.
Now, as I mentioned, we go to a lot of different markets and we talk about making your list, and a lot of people say, yeah, I gotta make your list. And then they walk out and they don't. And then they come back the following week and they go, that's right, yep, gotta make my list. And they don't. And they do that, you know, it's right here kind of thing, or I made my list before. So I want to do a little exercise with you. How many of you have paper? All right. You have pens? Can you give me a 1-minute timer? I would like for you in the next 60 seconds, write down as many people as you can think of that you know and have a relationship with. So take that time. We're going to start the timer right now. Twenty seconds. Ten seconds. Five seconds. And time. All right, I won't be like a teacher and say put your pens down, but, you know, put your pens down, right? So, if you have at least 10 people on your list, could you please stand? Very nice. Now, if you have 15 people, stay standing. 20 people. 25. So 25, remember, what does the slide say? At least 25 people, right? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 individuals still standing that have 25 people. How long does it take you to make your list?
A minute.
1 minute, right? Stay standing. 60 seconds. So when people say, I don't have time, you got a minute? Because that's all it takes, right? How do we say that? Do we say that a lot? Like, hey, you got a minute? Great, here's a pen, here's some paper. I need you to write down some names, right? So don't let that be their excuse. So now we've got 6 people with 25 names. If you have 30 or more, stay standing. 35. 37. 38. 39. Are you standing too, sir? 40. All right, how many do you have? You just wrote down today in 1 minute? Well, I applaud the effort. But for today's exercise, we're not going to allow that one to count. There's a lady in the back. How many do you have? 40. Let's give her a hand. And what is your name? Roxy Emacs? Ebanks. Remember that name, because in today's exercise, she got 40 people down by using her cell phone. Isn't that what we want all of the individuals that we're training to do? Yeah. So she is leading the way. She's doing what is necessary to get it done. When she leaves here tonight, she's got a head start. She's got 40 people to contact. You know, I threw out that challenge a couple weeks ago when I was doing the training that Tom Kennery talked about earlier in Edison, New Jersey. And the interesting thing was that they all had the same opportunity as you, and they wrote down some names. And sometimes if you've been in the business for a little while, you think, oh, well, this exercise isn't for me. But there was a gentleman in the back of the room that day who had been in for a while. As a matter of fact, he's one of the leaders. He does the trainings in that area, the presentations. So, you know, he has a knowledge. I'm sure he's already written his list. He took that challenge seriously. And he ended up getting more names than anybody else in that room. And I offered him, it was a spur of the moment kind of thing, I offered him a free ticket to come to the Atlanta, Georgia pre-launch from New Jersey. Now I thought, let me just tell him afterwards that, you know, don't feel obligated to go. We can pass that along to somebody that you might know in Atlanta or somebody on your team. I don't want him to feel like he needed to make the trip from New Jersey down. And you know what he said? Oh, I'm going. I said, did you plan on going before that ticket and that exercise? He said, no, I hadn't thought about it, but I'm going. I'm not missing out on that opportunity. Well, from that, he ended up gathering together a lot of the other individuals in that area on his team. And they, instead of flying down, they wanted to make sure they came down with their team. They rented a van or a couple of cars and they all came down. Can you guys stand up and let us know who you are today? There's the man right there. Kelly Atkinson. He's the one that started it all. Thank you all. So you never know what your actions are going to create for other people. They may not have been here if it wasn't for Kelly Atkinson making his list. So it's so important that you do this not just for yourself, but for everybody else that you're setting that example for. Now some of those individuals are on his team and some of them aren't. But he set the example and he's leading the way. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So now you've got your list. And you're ready to invite people to your home meeting, your grand opening party. Because when you open a traditional business, don't you have a grand opening? Yes. So why wouldn't you do that with your home-based business? So you got your grand opening party ready. You want to schedule it. How long before, from the day you sign up and enroll, should it take before you schedule your home party? 4 to 7 days. Sit down with the person that you're working with and let them know immediately. I need to schedule my home party. You pick a date and guess what? You'll work to do what you need to do to get up to that date. Because some people say, well, let me get ready first and then I'll pick a date. Guess what happens? They never get ready.
That's right.
You knew that you had a date to be here for the pre-launch today. So you did what you had to do to get here, right?
Right.
You set it in motion. Schedule that home party. Get that started and get that in motion. Now, in order for your home party to be effective, what do you need to do? You need to effectively approach the people on your list. Now, I said effectively approach, right?
Right.
We talked earlier, you may have talked to them before, but if you didn't effectively approach them, they may have said no. So you need to learn this effective approach, and we're not going to go through that in detail today, but I'll give you the framework of it. You're going to contact the people on the list, and you're going to ask them, hey, could you do me a huge favor? Have you ever said that to anybody before?
Yep.
Right? It's kind of normal, it's natural. If you need something, you ask the people that you know, can you do me a favor? Well, when they're receptive to that, you then need to go in and do exactly what Mr. Torres says and express to them your why, your compelling why. You need for them to understand how important it is for them to take a look at your business. Is your goal to get them to join your business?
No.
Thank you. No. What is your goal?
Look at the back.
Your goal is to introduce it to them, have them take a look at it, and give you their honest opinion and feedback. When you decided to join North American Power, who made the decision? You or someone else?
I did.
So who do you think is going to make the decision when you talk to the people you know?
They are.
They are. Allow them that decision. You present the opportunity and it is either for them or it is not for them. That's all you can do. Divorce yourself from the results. If you get held up on the results of what they say, you're going to hold yourself back. You're going to think, I need to say the most perfect thing, or I don't want to mess it up, or I don't want to say anything at all because I'm afraid I'm going to say the wrong thing, right? That's not your job. Your job is to present it with the effective approach and let them decide for themselves. So you've asked for the favor, you've explained your compelling why, and then you're going to go through 3 different reasons. 1, you may be interested in becoming a partner. You may see an opportunity here for yourself. 2, you may not see something here for yourself, and that's okay if you don't. But maybe you can support my business and send me some referrals. Become a customer yourself. Support my business. And then the 3rd reason is you may think, I don't want to be a business partner. I don't want to send any referrals. Matter of fact, I think this is a crazy, crazy business. I'm not interested whatsoever. And if that's the case, it's okay. We're still friends. It's not going to interfere with our relationship. We'll still see each other at picnics and parties and have fun. I'll still say hi to you. You know, it doesn't change anything. However, I need for you to take a look at it for me and say yes or no to me. Whether you're interested or not, whether you like the concept or not, you say yes or no to me and not somebody else. Now, isn't that fair for the people that you have a relationship with?
Yes.
Absolutely. And there's no reason that somebody that you know and that cares about you would have a problem with that. Because what are they on the line for?
0.
Nothing. They're giving you their opinion. Don't they do that without you asking anyway? I remember changing my hair one day a few years back, and my girlfriend says, oh, I don't like that. And I said, I don't remember asking, right? So they're going to tell you what they think, whether you like it or not. Just make sure that they're telling you what they think based off of the proper information and what you want to hear it on, right? Now, once you have your effective approach down and you've made your phone calls, you're going to call every single person on that list as quickly as possible, because you then want to invite them to your home party. And the first step, once they start asking questions, is to put them on that pre-recorded call. You can have an effective conversation done by either John Costino, myself, Bob Heilig. There are several other calls out there that you can use that are all done within about 5 to 6 minutes. Now, do you think it's easier to present the information yourself or to have somebody else do it for you in a concise 5-minute time block?
Have someone else.
Absolutely. So once you've taken that step and they have more questions, you can use the other exposure tools and put them on the phone with somebody that you're working with for a live 3-way call.